So we got this really cool 2002 we've been working on for a couple years now for a really good client of ours. And he brought it by, he wanted to refresh some things, and we've decided that we're going to go ahead and turbo it. So we're going to go turbo, refresh the whole engine compartment, go through and put a new clutch in, kind of wrap up all the odds and ends that were left undone when the car was restored from the previous owner. And we're going to basically freshen up the entire thing and take it from like a $100,000 car to like a $140,000 car. There's a lot of detail work that's going to go on, and probably like a 3 or 4 part video, to be honest with you, with as much as we're doing. So keep watching, subscribe, enjoy, and leave me some feedback. Thanks, guys. So I'm going to take this bar off real quick. We're going to basically get some simple dimensions for the intake manifold, because we're actually going to be replacing it and going to a metal manifold. This is an OBD2 S52 manifold, which are not really boost safe because there is a fitting underneath that likes to blow out. That is for the idle air control valve. So we don't want to deal with that bullshit. We're going to just get rid of the whole thing and start with a sheet metal one. What we're going to be rolling with, we're going to use this guy right here, but we're not going to use it in this form. I'm actually going to chop it apart and make it where we could put a base plate here, put an intercooler brick in the middle, and then I'll probably cannibalize this plenum and reuse part of it, basically just for simplicity's sake, and also because it's actually a pretty nice piece considering the fact that it is from China. So we don't typically use a whole lot of Chinese parts. These are kind of tried and true in the BMW community. We've been using these for 20 years or something like that. So this will definitely take place of the plastic manifold. It'll work a lot better, and it also has a really nice billet fuel rail and a really nice throttle body. So this is kind of going to be a keep it simple build. There's not a whole lot of things like what we did on the Jeep where we had to reinvent the wheel on everything. This is kind of my bread and butter. I've been doing S52 turbo kits for about 15 years now. So this will be a really cool project. You guys are going to really enjoy it. So I got the intake manifold off. That was super easy. I expected a lot more of a battle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to test fit the Chinesium Mani. And again, to reiterate, we're going to clip this in half, put an intercooler core here, and reshape or even make a whole new plenum. We'll see. But basically this goes in. And had we not needed an intercooler in the intake manifold, this actually would be kind of a cool upgrade. The throttle body is absolutely massive and not really required, so I definitely am going to put a smaller throttle body on this. I might even keep the OEM one, because if we have a massive throttle body, we're going to have a lot more lag and a lot less throttle response. So I'd like to kind of mitigate that problem. So anyway, intercooler core, what I'm envisioning is probably using a 3.5 or 4 inch tall brick, moving the plenum out over here and clearing. I got to clear the brake booster, but the hood has enough clearance in between. So I think we got all the space in the world to do exactly what we need. And then the turbocharger is going to be top mount. We're going to put it over here where the coolant expansion tank is, and that'll keep all the heat underneath. We will put a turbo blanket on the turbo to keep all the heat from the hood, but outside of that, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's going to be really fucking cool when it's all finished up too. So I got the car up in the air. What I'm going to do is pull the 6-to-1 header out. It comes out in pieces, so it's going to be kind of an involved task. And I'm going to have to probably take everything apart slowly and methodically to get everything out. Once we get that out, we'll be able to start doing the mock-up of the turbo manifold, and we're going to put a turbo on the top side, so it'll be a top mount manifold. Pretty simple system. It's going to be a lot like an E36. So we got this exhaust we built a couple years back. It's got a vibrant ultra quiet muffler, and it's ovalized to clear underneath the chassis as you go over speed bumps. But unfortunately, this car is so low, it actually doesn't clear. So we're going to do a little bit of modifications to that as well. But for now, it's got to come off so I can get the header out. was easy. So next part, we'll pull the O2 sensor. The manifold itself, the header comes off in like 5 pieces, I think. It's been a while since I built it, but it comes apart runner by runner, and they're all slip fit. So I'll break it down, and basically everything will start to come apart piece by piece. This sucks. Well, here I am, about an hour and a half into or about an hour, I guess, into pulling this header off. And whoever designed it clearly didn't care about nobody that had to work on this car. And the unfortunate thing is it was me that designed it. And apparently I didn't care about nobody, because this is god awful. However, I am down to the last 3 nuts, and what I have to use right in these last few nuts is a box end wrench, because no other tools fit. And these headers, I mean, they're absolutely knotted up, and you'll see it's basically just a big ball of spaghetti, or paschetti as we call it around the shop. Lewis, can you grow some thumbs to help me, please? Please, bro, please. All right, now I'm down to the last nut. And these are copper washers with crushed heads, so they basically just don't thread off when they're loose. You have to manually take them off until they're completely off. And I've been using this guy with a it's an 11 mil with a wobbly. And unfortunately, this is like, it only worked on the corners pretty much and a couple other outside ones. But this is all just kind of a patience is a virtue type thing, and it sucks ass because I don't have patience. I especially don't have patience to take headers off, unfortunately. So I've had silent crash outs for the last like 30 minutes. The first bit went okay, but now I'm like so close to this thing being off. The anticipation's killing me. And I actually have to loosen the header off of the head a little bit more so I have more room to articulate my wrench. So this is basically like worst case scenario. But the car sounded magical with this header, so I can only be so sad about it. Alright, well, I'm just about done with this fucking thing. It has literally taken me like almost 2 hours now. And it's been a lot of 1/16 of a turn every turn. So now that I'm rolling to the end of this last nut, this thing should come out pretty uneventfully. Oh, I think that's it. Alright, so I'm going to taking apart the puzzle now. So these are slip fit into the collector, and as they get hot, they seal. When they're cold, they're a little clackety because they don't seal all the way. When they get hot, everything expands and then they're good to go. So here's runner 1. Runner 2. Raise the engine up to pull the rest out. Of course. So I won the battle. It was a bitch, but I got it. So I won the battle. This is what I was up against, and you can see how it's just a giant knot of tubes. Getting access to the hardware is almost impossible. That's why runners are all individually cut off in the front. The rear section, the last three, are together, just to help with ease of install, since that can all stay together. But as you can see, it's got some a lot of intricate design to it, and Adam, the owner of this car, could go ahead and take this home and probably put it on his wall, because this is some serious wall art. So I pulled the header off, I got the intake manifold off, and I had the owner come through. We kind of chatted about the goals of the car once everything's turboed, and I think after the intake manifold was off and like really looking at the engine compartment, Adam realized that he wants to go ahead and drop the engine, pull the wiring harness, and strip the engine compartment, because it has like this rhino liner shit on it, and unfortunately on a car that's this nice, this clean, you lose a pretty big percentage of resale value when you pop the hood and it looks like this. So, you know, down the road, Adam potentially could sell this car, but he wants to make sure that when that time comes, he could get what what the car is really worth. And unfortunately, since this engine compartment is a giant eyesore, we are going to drop the engine. We're going to strip all the rhino lining and rewire and tuck a lot of the wiring down. That way it's not completely just sticking out. I mean, you got like this harness up here and stuff. So once everything's out, we'll go through and we'll basically take a look at everything that we want to clean up, do it step by step. And then when the engine goes back up in there, this engine bay will be satin black, and it'll look fresh and clean. This looks very like dirty. It looks kind of dilapidated, and the car is like absolutely pristine outside of that. So we're gonna go ahead and fix all those problems while we're in here. Engine and tranny came out together out the top. I was trying to go through the bottom, but unfortunately the firewall prevented me from being able to go down, and then the crank pulley was basically in the valence. So we ended up going out, pulled the drive shaft. Everything's out now. So what we'll be doing is stripping all the wiring and getting the chassis painted, either black or silver under hood. The car is really, really clean and really well done, but when the paint job is done, the engine and tranny were in. So we're gonna basically get everything to match and make it look real nice and clean. And you can see all the drivetrain right here. So within the next couple days, we'll get all that painted and everything will go back in, and we'll start putting this thing together with the turbo kit. So we got the car back from paint. We actually ended up changing some stuff up and went a little bit more crazy over what we were planning on doing, which was matte black. You're gonna have to stay tuned to the next build video of this, and you'll get to see what we actually ended up doing and the other changes we're doing with the turbo system.